everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Check the description below, and you can link to my Patreon account. You can help me create content, recommend movies, videos, music, everything for me to review. Go ahead and check it out and hit me up on there and let me know if you have anything in mind. With that being said, we are back at it again. We are at it with another review for Cobra Kai, episode number 2 for season 3, called Nature versus Nurture. All right, so the one thing that I enjoyed about this episode was that it gives a brief backstory of John Crease. All right, so I like the fact that they're trying to give a backstory, and they're digging into his past, and they're making him more humanistic. He's not, they're giving I believe they're giving a reason for him being the way that he is, right? They're leading up to something. When I first saw the scene, I thought John Crease was the douchebag that was being a jerk and bullying people. And it was so weird to see him being on the other end. Also, that diner scene, I swear to you, reminded me of Back to the Future. Let me know if you felt the same way when you were watching it. And I love the fact that they're giving the backstory to Crease, and basically they're making him more of a humane character like they did with Johnny. Johnny, when I first started the season, I'm sitting there like, dude, Johnny's a douchebag, man. I remember watching a Karate Kid. And then once you watch it and you start seeing it from his angle and his point of view, you just like, damn, you know what? I never really looked at it from that angle, you know? And it made him more of a humanistic character. You were able to sympathize with him and you cared about him. And I think that's the direction that they're going with Crease. I could be wrong, but let's see. Also, we catch up with Tori, and we basically find out how she's been after the events of the brawl. And it's affected her greatly, man. I'm assuming she has a record now. She has to check in with a PO office. She got kicked out of school, so she's doing really bad, and she has her own problems to deal with, which is her sick mother that she has to take care of, and all these weird people around her. And you know what? I really think that she's going to be playing a major part in the story by the way that they're developing her character so quickly. She has quite a bit of character development in just one episode, and man, like, yeah. So I really think that she's going to be a central focus of the season. Let's see if I'm right, or let's see what's going to happen. With that being said, one thing that I noticed was that the fight sequence in this episode, it could have been a lot better. It might be because they're older, and maybe that had a problem with it, but it seemed very kind of unsequenced. Like it just seemed like, I don't know, like too slow. It just was paced wrong, right? I really thought it was going to be really epic to see these two actors hit the stage and then get down together for the first time, and like it just didn't pan out the way that I really wanted it to, you know. But the double kick at the end was very awesome, and it felt like a slice from the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like it felt like a real slice from the 80s film, and I enjoyed that. The one good thing about this series is it keeps the soul of the Karate Kid alive during the whole, so far during the season and what I've been watching so far. The soul of the Karate Kid has been alive throughout this whole series, and I completely respect it and I love it, right? It has the comedy, it has the drama, it has the action, it has it all down packed, and it meshes together, and it makes it just this freaking epic show that once you start watching it, it's kind of hard to pull yourself away from it. We also have this scene with John Crease in this episode. Man, that move that he did on Old Boy was a boss move. Like that was some real gangster shit that he did. And shout outs to John Crease for pulling up on Homeboy and just like telling them what it is. I respected the hell out of that. And it made Crease look like a freaking menacing character. And honestly, like, you know, that's what I like about the show. People that you don't typically root for, in certain situations, you root for them. And I hope we get a lot more of that in this season. What else? I also enjoyed the camera fake outs that they had. They have a lot of camera fake outs where they focus on one thing, or they're building up this tense moment and then it switches to something else. If you guys watch the episode, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. It gets you kind of like, ah, dang, that's crazy. You really went that route, you know? So I thought that was pretty cool. We also get some bad news in this episode about Miguel, about after waking up from his coma. I honestly thought that this was going to be a thing that probably lagged throughout the whole season, but it seems like, I guess, they weren't trying to keep him in a coma too long, which is good for me because I enjoy Miguel's character. But yeah, after waking up from his coma, we get some bad news, and you know what? We had one of the most intensest moments in, I think, Cobra Kai history between between the senseis and students. You know, there was actually two scenes in this episode between sensei and student, but I honestly think the scene with Miguel and Johnny was a lot more tense than with Daniel and Robbie. That's just my opinion. And I feel like the Miguel and Johnny thing was way more emotional. Like if there was a moment where, you know, you might want to drop a little thug tear, I think that would be the one where, you know, I think that's the one that them tears might, you know, gangster tear, just one of them. Here's a brief spoiler part for this episode. If you don't want to be spoiled, but honestly, I'm predicting that what I think is going to happen in the upcoming episode, I think that the top students from the dojos will switch. I think Robbie is going to join Cobra Kai, and I think Miguel is going to go train with Miyagi Dojo, right? And he's going to try to or gain his ability of walking through Miyagi Dojo, you know. But I for sure think that I think Robbie's going to join Cobra Kai. I think that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. I predicted this since last season. I was like, I think the top dogs from each of these dojos are going to switch, but that's just me. So that's my review, or that's my review. That's my thoughts for episode 2, Nature versus Nurture of season 3 of Cobra Kai. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. Just go ahead and tell me in the comment sections. Until next time, this is Dave from the 80s, and you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Trying to get to that 200, and have a great day. Adios.